I remember recently, and I just want to say this and then leave the point alone. Just yesterday, I was doing some overtime at work, and I was thinking while I was working, because I usually work in silence, right? And I was thinking while I was working, and I said to myself, you know, when the PNP was raising Cane last year because some of their dons were taken out, the reason they came out protesting about it, Angela Brownburg was one of them. You know, when the don from Augustown was taken out, when the guy from Bucktown in Spanish Town was taken out, they also came out very strong against it. And the bloggers themselves also came out very strong against it. The reason they came out against it because they used to do the same thing to Tivoli Gardens. Every election, leading up to every election, they would invade Tivoli Gardens. So they believe that this is what this Prime Minister was doing, using their community as a scapegoat instead of trying to solve crime. Right? So we have to learn the methods of the PNP and see it for what it is. And if you guys have challenges when you're on a live and you figure, so boy, this is something that we may have some issues dealing with, just call a few of us. You know, people like connecting, Chuck. If you can reach Chaps, mostly you don't have Chaps number, but you can call me and me reach out to Chaps. You can call Foresight, you can call HR Guru. You know, we will keep a calm head and rip the lies to shred because them can't stand up to truth, you know. PNP cannot stand up to truth.
Joshua,
right? Yes, ma'am.
can you let me add something to what you're saying?
Right.
Many persons are of the belief that the PNP member of parliaments do not get any CDF funding.
That's a lie. 20%.
And only the JLP member of parliaments are getting it. But I hasten to address this because I've been hearing it. I've been on many lives and I hear it. That is what the PNP are promoting. Oh, the PNP MP, they not get the money. The fact is this, guys, one thing we know about PNP and two things for sure. If there's an allocation of funding and they are supposed to get it and they did not get it, they would be the first out there, even calling a press conference or a press briefing or whatever it is, to let the nation know that they were quote unquote sabotaged or they did not receive any funding. When the arguments come up about CDF funding, at no point has any of their members come out and said they did not receive such. So what I want to establish is that the JLP constituencies are looking up because our member of parliaments, our JLP member of parliaments are using the funds to develop the constituencies. Unlike the PNP member of parliaments, you have to wonder what they are doing with the monies because we know that just before the next budget reading, you would submit your breakdown of how the funds are being spent. And if there is a balance, that balance is sent back to the Ministry of Finance. And we have not seen or heard where the PNP MPs send back all the money. So therefore, it is stated that they have provided invoices to say they have used the money, but the constituency is not reflecting such. And so I want people to be mindful of that and look closely and try to analyze it for yourself and say, how is it that they'll be getting the same funding as other MPs and it's not being reflected any at all in the constituencies?
I think this is a good topic. I think this is a good topic for discussion, so we shouldn't just leave it like that. If you don't mind, I submit to the host, of course. Let me get the permission of the host to find out if it's okay.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man. With a search back, it's very good topic.
Right. So you remember yesterday I called you, Sonny, and I tell you that a young miss named Ouch Them was on our live. All right. For those who don't know who Ouch Them is the young miss from Baktu who did the video telling that went viral that stated where she have to use toilet, you know, and showed how the people in Baktu are living. Now, if For those of you who don't know where back to is, it's a former Portia Simpson Miller constituency that is now led by Angela Brownberg, which is a PNP constituency. It is beyond deplorable. Beyond deplorable. And nobody can tell me that this young lady is lying, because I have driven through the community many times. And I know exactly what it looks like. It looks like some place in India. And I'm not joking. No, some slums that are in India. That's how it looks. Right? And I'm not saying this to make the people of the community look bad. That's not the intention. The intention is to highlight the laziness of the People's National Party representative. Right? Because you cannot be a member of parliament anywhere in Jamaica, and it looks like that. Not even Riverton City, where you have a garbage dump, right, for a couple of parishes, don't look like Bacto. And yet, though Riverton City is also a PNP constituency, and it still look better than Bacto, right? Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this, because I went on the live twice this week, and I spoke with the young miss. And not just she, but many members of that community, who are all PNP, by the way. And I brought down to them the benefits that the MPs and the councillors get and their responsibilities, right? And I explained to them that the reason your community is in the condition that it's in, because they have received these funds from central government and local government, right? And they have done nothing with them. I let them know that these monies are supposed to be used to clean the gullies, the drains, to build pipes, to ensure that they call parish council, you know, and get the gullies to be built that needs to be built, call JPS and get light for them and proper water systems and all of those. But they have not been doing it, and part of the reason, if you keep people in desperate situation, when you run in and give them a small change, then they feel grateful. Unfortunately, the young miss and a couple of them, who some of them no longer living in Bacto, but they said they grew up there, admitted that that is what the PNP has been doing, right? Now, I went down this road also because I want to show people the benefits, and 1, 2, what government is doing in terms of the CDF giving to all MPs, not just JLP MPs, but all MPs receive the exact amount from central government. And I also want people to understand that Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister of the country, not the leader of your constituency. There's a difference. Andrew Holness is responsible, or any Prime Minister that's there is responsible for the running of the country, ensuring that policies are put in place for the greater benefit, meeting with international leaders, representing, having a good image for your country, you know, the overall leadership and direction of the country in terms of where we want to see the country headed. But your MP is responsible for your constituency, and the councillors are responsible for your communities and your divisions.
Exactly.
Right? And everybody gets the same amount of money. Once you're a councillor, or once you're an MP, it's the exact amount. It is in law. Bruce Golding implemented it. $25 million at the time. PNP came in and reduced it, I think, to about 5 or 10 million. It's when Andrew came in that they put it back to where it is now, $20 million per MP. And this is to help the people within the community and to do the projects as they see fit. In addition to that, there's a Sparks program.
Joshua, I'm going to ask you to repeat what you just said about the reduction by the PNP reducing it to $5 million.
All right, so when Bruce Golding came in, Bruce was the one that came up with this idea of Constituency Development Fund, also known as CDF, right? Which, because he thought that, boy, you know, there are some projects within the community which needs to be dealt with, and the time it takes for procurement and central government to be dealing with these things, central government and the cabinet is not on the ground seeing what is happening, right? And because cabinet is not on the ground and seeing what is happening, then you need the representative of the constituency who is there on the ground, who knows the constituency better than the cabinet, right? And also for fairness and for parity. What is parity? Parity, the word parity means equality, right? So for fairness and equality, every member of parliament should get some money so that they can look after their constituency. That is why it's known as Constituency Development Fund. It speaks for itself, otherwise known as CDF. When Bruce came into power as Prime Minister, he implemented this system, right? And every member of parliament, it doesn't matter which side you're from, you get the exact amount, no difference. There's no criteria except that you should be a member of parliament. I think it was $25 million initially. If it's not 25, it was 20. Don't hold me to the exact figure, but it's either 20 or 25. It started out as when PNP came into power, they reduced the figures, right?
I hear Winston saying that Bruce started at 40 mil, then it was Winston in the box. Yeah, Winston, you're making a correction. Son?
Yes. At first, when they consolidate, when they
CDF.
Yes, when they first implemented, it started out at 40 million. But because of the when they were gonna undertake the debt.
Debt swap.
The debt swap.
The
JDS. Yes, sir. They reduce it. Yes, so continue.
Right. That when PNP came into power, they also reduced it further. Right? It's when Andrew came in power now that it went back up to where it currently is. Right?
How much did PNP reduce it to?
I don't remember the figure. But all of these information is researchable. So if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. Right? But all of these are researchable information. Right? And no one is sabotaged based on your party preference. That is PNP way of operating, and we can prove that. Right? We can not only talk that, we can prove that this is what I'm saying is true. It's only PNP who do these things. PNP don't promote you unless you are a PNP. If you're in the police force, then make sure that them stepping in your head and you're not going nowhere. Right?
God adopted.
Yes, sir.
Could I interject and say one thing, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Also, sir, the question that we should really ask, under the since burial of last year, each member of parliament was allotted 5 minutes for preparation for the hurricane. After the hurricane, they were also allotted another 3 million for cleanup. In December of last year, each member of parliament was given 23 million to clean up, to provide Christmas work and clean up the constituency. In February, they were given another 5 or 6 million.
Hold that point a bit, Winston. I want you to get into it a little more, but let me land with this first. Because
yes, sir,
what I'm about to say will complement the direction you're going in. Right? But we have to speak things in an orderly fashion so that we don't mix up the persons who are listening. Right? So the money, the question that was asked by, I think the lady, forget the name now. The lady that spoke before me a while ago. Right? The question that was asked by her, or posited by her based on the concerns that were being raised by people is the concern was that it's only laborites who were getting the money. And she asked the question, what are they doing with it? Now I can tell you one of the things that they are doing with it. And this is not my opinion, but this was said by people in the PNP live that I was a part of earlier this week. And I will tell you what they said. That Angela Brownberg and our crew are giving out $3,000 and $5,000 to people. So that is election money. Right? In addition to that, I'm going to say something else, which is not my opinion, but it's on tape. When Lawrence Rowe, right, played an audio by Mayor Swaby speaking what he has done with money.
Show it up.
Right? And also by Dayton Campbell, also stating what they have done with money. Because them know say the parish council election was coming up. And they are also hoarding these money for the upcoming election.
Yes.
Right? Plus, Mocha is presently investigating some of the parish council for money that have gone missing into thin air. So these are not guess arguments. These are not our opinions. So I'm trying to respond to the question that you asked, my sister. What have they been doing with the money? It is out there in the public domain. All we have to do is gather it in a cohesive way and in an orderly fashion and present it. The answer is right there in front of all of us. PNP representatives, not the ordinary people. The ordinary people don't know. The representatives have been using the money incorrectly. $3,000 and $5,000 because they want to appear as if they are the savior of the people. Keep them poor and then run, come help them. It's like a man lighting your house. Right? And then when it blazing now and you shout fire, him run come with a bucket of water. And him throw at a liquor spot. He make sure I'm not out the house entirely, Him throw at a liquor spot and cool down the fire there, so. And throw some buckets. And when it start blaze again, him throw some more water and cool it down. But him not want it out because if it out, then you have to call out for help. Right? And that is what the PNP representatives have been doing to the people who they should be representing. But I say to the people, wake up and start having sense. Let them understand that they can no longer take you for fools, right, and manipulate you and do as they please because you're sick and tired of it. Folks, if you don't believe me, and I'm talking to the people in the chat now, those who are on the For You page, if you don't believe me, just type in either on Facebook or in YouTube what Lawrence Rowe said about Mayor Swaby. The information is there for you. I don't know if it's on Google, but you could try and Google it also. Right? And go over Ouch Them page, One Chevar Live, OUCHDEM, and ask her. These are PNP testifying about what the representatives, the political representatives have been doing. Right? These people have been taking the Jamaican people who they should be helping. They've gotten the Constituency Development Fund to look after the people and fattening themselves. And some of these bloggers who are Jamaicans, instead of licking out against it and saying, no, an idiot thing that because of poor people like ourselves, they are running behind these thieves. And I say it without apologies. Behind these thieves. And defending these thieves to the detriment of their fellow Jamaicans and the country at large. It's full time for it to stop. And I want people to understand. And when it comes to election, send these thieves a strong message. All they can do is walk around and tell lie on the Prime Minister. And saying is that. But so the information, God not asleep. God not asleep, So the information finally came out, and there's more to come out. And the leader of the opposition, who would speak about integrity and accountability, has not sought to hold his political representatives accountable. Yeah? But that's for another story. I'll back off and let Winston continue with what he was saying because it's relevant to the conversation.
1 second, Winston, before you go. Joshua, I heard you touch on a point, but maybe it is a point for another discussion. After this election, I think we need some guidance in our country, in our schools, for our Jamaican people to be educated on what the government is supposed to do. Our local government is responsible for in our country, and not every pipe burst. Somebody call Andrew Holness.
They're not supposed to be calling. All right, I'm glad you mentioned that, my sister, because
we want an education. Because hear me out, Joshua. Based on what I'm seeing, everybody, and when you go around even these live and these PNP, the first thing they say, oh, he's not doing nothing. What is he doing? What is he doing? Like you want to see him in your doorstep every day handing out baskets or on the street sweeping it up or something like that. That is not. Governments are there to make policies to better our country. And we have the local government for a different reason, for the lower level of the country, in or light or water or roads and stuff like that. So we don't understand that as a Jamaican. So maybe after this election, we can maybe have some knowledge, some education in schools somewhere, but about what government of the country is supposed to.
So to respond to that, sorry, Mr. Dawkins, to respond to that, one thing I never mentioned, in addition to that, the government is also, the Prime Minister is also there, and irrespective of which side, it doesn't matter. And irrespective of which country also, it doesn't matter. So even if it's not Jamaica, the principle is the same, especially if you're governed under the Westminster system. The Prime Minister is also there to hold his ministers accountable. So in addition to the things that I have mentioned previously and the ones that you reiterated, the Prime Minister is to set the tone for everybody, to create policies, to meet with international leaders and the relevant stakeholders, and to hold his ministers accountable. The opposition leader now, by extension, is to help to hold the government accountable, not to oppose because they're in opposition, but to help to hold the government accountable, one, to help with the overall management of the country, but from a different perspective. And when I said to help with the overall management, is not to interrupt or intervene or behave like they are the ruling party. No, that's not what I mean. They are supposed to be there to keep an eye to ensure that things are done properly and to make suggestions. And when we have a national debate, to put forward contributions, not whether it be Parliament on a Tuesday in the case of Jamaica, right? Or when we are having the yearly debate, the annual budget debate, to put forward suggestions and ideas that will either strengthen that which is being put forward by the ruling party, or in the case wherein the ruling party put forward something that was not a good idea, to counter it and to provide suggestions. So this nonsense about me now give them an idea coming around them teeth it means that they're not interested in the betterment of the country, right? So that's part of it. Now the last part of the response to you, my sister, civics was always in school until in the 90s when PNP took it out. PJ Patterson took out civics, and the purpose of civics is to address all of the things that you said needs to be taught in school. Right? So whilst we no longer have civics in school as was taken out by the PNP then, I think if the JTA, instead of being an arm of the PNP and focus on strengthening the PNP all the while, what they should be doing is use creative methods. You still have social studies. They can interject it as part of their social studies teaching, right? You still have history classes. As part of their history, they can look at the history of Jamaica, how the political parties were formed. You can use that, right? And the different arms of government and how they function and why they were formed at the time. You can use creative means and methodologies to bring these things into the classroom. But the JTA is more concerned about supporting their party, which is the People's National Party. of which they were a founding member at the time, the JTA, which is Jamaica Union of Teachers at the time. They were a founding member, part of the founding membership of the People's National Party. And so they don't care about the kids in the classroom, they care about their party, right? So I hope that long-winded response helped to address some of the concerns and help to provide information. All right, Forsyth and Mr. Dawkins, I don't know which of you going first, but you had something to say.
Forsyth is no longer here with us. But to follow up with what you're saying, Joshua, and also what Flowers has also put forward. I am also of the concern, just as what Flowers speak about.
PNP President Mark Holding distanced himself from the proposal a day later, signal
the population. There's a large percentage of the population that do not know what is the responsibility of the government, the executive government, right? And that's a problem. In the 90s, we have developed a culture. A matter of fact, let me go back a little. Michael Manley, when get elected 1972, totally shift how a market economy operates. Okay? And then he create this ideology in the society that government is about distribution. Fast forward to the 90s, PJ Patterson can continue on that role without spending any time on the agencies of government to provide services, etc., etc., etc. No attention was also given to the most important institution of government, which is the economy. To produce and to provide all of these services, you need to have a healthy economy. And that was totally destroyed. And so the Jamaican people grow to become aware that government is there just to distribute to them. You understand? And the Prime Minister even spoke about this. I listened to him having an interview on a podcast. And he's saying that, listen, when the government come and talk about the macroeconomic stability and talking about a strong economy and etc., the lady in the country who have his daughter or his son get accepted in university, but don't have the money, I don't have the means of finding the money to pay the tuition fee. All of those fancy talk about the economy don't matter to them. Not realizing that if you don't have a strong economy, the government can't even assist you. So I am a 100% in support of what Flowers have introduced here. We need to educate our people about the function and the responsibility of a government. That is very paramount at this time. The Prime Minister even spoke about cabinet, having cabinet meeting, having discussion, and colleagues of that cabinet would want the government to go half track, so to speak, to appease the people by providing the fund for distribution. But the Prime Minister said him have a stick to his gun. He spoke about it. I post the video to a lot of people who I follow, so they can go and watch it. And this is very important. You need a Prime Minister that is strong, somebody that is decisive, somebody who is prudent, somebody who is willing to stick to the gun, right? And see us through. No, we are we now move to a situation as a country where our macroeconomic stability is now a case study. most definitely. Other countries are looking on and wanted to implement what we have done. And so therefore, we are in a good position. But the thing is, do the people who soon be called to make a decision, do they understand the fundamentals? That is the question. Do enough of our people understand the importance? The Prime Minister goes as far as to say Jamaica will become the Singapore of the Caribbean. Are we willing to sacrifice this opportunity for bellyful politics?
Winston,
Good morning.
Joshua, company, lessons.
Mute your background, Paul, and let him continue speaking. Mute your background, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying that, are we willing at this time around as a country where we reach this crossroad to make a decision for the growth and development of our country, for economic prosperity? Are we willing to give it up for bellyful politics at this time? I don't think so. I think our Jamaican people this time, if provided the right information, will make the right decision and choose Jamaica for prosperity. Thank you all.
Yeah, well, I respect
Anyone speak? Mr.
Go ahead,
Dawkins.
Joshua. Yes, Joshua. Are you control the live, my daddy? Go ahead.
Well, come over and take over your live with enough service.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Show tap the screen. Show tap the screen. Come on.
Put the strongest soldier ahead of the army.
Nah, finger shut off and not true.
No, man.
No.
We use the experience to guide way.
Oh Lord.
It is your duty. It is your duty to take your soldiers into battles that you can handle, and know that you set your platoon and we follow as you lead.
All right, sir. Thank you for your kindness, sir.
All right. Go on the road.
All right. So, Mr. Dawkins, you had started saying something previously, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it in an orderly fashion. Mr. Dawkins, Mr. Senior, where is he? I saw him earlier. Oh, he has dropped out.
I'm gone.
Right. Mr. Dawkins, then Ella May, then Two Locks, then Ruly Badness or Unruly Badness, then Flowers, Kingston 11, Paul Stewart, and we will do it in that order. Oh, the host also. The host, young man, but him speak like him is a big man.
Very sensible. Very sensible.
Yeah.
The host no want talk, man. The host want go cooking Sunday dinner now. You know, get no more.
Yeah, man, we have to keep him up here because we want beg out him dinner. We don't want him alone eat it.
Yeah, man, we're there. You know, we just go on the live until such time. Cause you know my style. Today or Sunday, I know the way I have to do it, though.
Yes, man.
Yes, man. Miss Ella, good morning again, Miss Ella.
All right, so
good morning into the afternoon.
Morning. So Mr. Dawkins land with he was making a point about the money. The monies before you came up, Miss Ella. And then once he's finished with that, because we want him to complete it, because we were on the monies that were allocated and the amount and all of those things. And he had started, but I'd ask him to pause until I land.
Yeah. So what I just wanted to say here, it's a lie, it's a fallacy. When PNP MPs, PNP councillors, PNP supporters go around and saying that they are not getting any money. That is not so. And once you're an elected councillor, you will get the same allocation as a JLP councillor to spend equally. From once you are a member of parliament, you are privy to all the funds that are available for your constituency. When the Prime Minister is allocating any fund towards the constituency, all 63 members of Parliament who's presently sitting in the Parliament get the same amount of allocation. All 63 members of Parliament get the same allocation for the CDF, the Constituency Development Fund, which is comprised of $20 million. These funds assist with education. It also assists with people who have some basic common needs. It's also for small projects that, sometimes something happens at the constituency, you need a readily fund to undertake certain emergency operation. So that's what the fund is also for. When the PNP member of Parliament come out and tell their constituents or the Lord of Jamaica that they are not getting any money, it is not true. Last year, for the preparation of the Hurricane Beryl, when the hurricane was pending, each member of Parliament get the same amount of allocation to prepare for the hurricane. After the hurricane, another disbursement was made for cleanup after the hurricane. All members of Parliament, if memory serves me right, I think it was for $3 million for cleanup. Don't hold me to that because I'm not quite remembering the figure. But it is between 3 to 5 million. Fast forward to December, the Prime Minister allocated 23 million right across the board. I have it right down somewhere. Right across the board for the 63 member of Parliament for Christmas work. Clean up the constituency, give out some Christmas work so the people then can have at least something in them pocket for the Christmas. That's it, and it is the largest in the history of Jamaica disbursement of fund for any Christmas project in the history of Jamaica. Even when you had inflation and whatsoever to it, it is the largest allocation of fund to member of Parliament in the history of this country in December. Fast forward to February of this year, every member of Parliament was allotted $6 million to assist with residents in their constituency who suffered damage to their roof.
One moment, Mr. Dawkins. Sorry to bother you. One of the ladies, I'm going to ask you, as Mr. Dawkins go through the overall figure between within the last year, from June last year to now, starting with the $5 million that was given to the MP, the 3 million, the 23 million, to write down the figure. And when you're finished, want you to show how much all MPs got within the last year. And we must question what is it that the PNP is doing with it. So one of the ladies or both of you.
Yeah, let Philippian do it for us. Please, Philippian, if you're not busy, research it for us and compile a figure. Thank you.
You mean my baby mother, my wife is here?
Yes, the beautiful accountant, Philippian.
Although she don't love me again, she keep on a gentleman with me. But
I guess I get to understand that is not she's the fault, and it's you all around the place. Using your charm and the ladies. Anyhow, so I'm saying we want to fast forward to the REACH program. From last year budget, there were $2 billion that's set aside from the budget to undertake emergency repairs of road right across the length and breadth of the country. And each member of Parliament have the same opportunity to get road patch for the rich program. All them have to do is to do their job by submit roads and ask the Minister of Work to get the technical people, come and measure the road, and the fund will be allocated. When that fund was reduced, when that $2 billion fund was disposed of, from this year budget in June of this year, another $1.5 billion was allocated to continue with the rich program, with the patching of road throughout the highland. Okay? And we have sparks going. And guys, what we must understand, sparks, each councillors, which consists of over 400 councillors, are given the opportunity to submit 2 roads from their division that will get addressed from the Sparks program. First in history, this ever happened, where central government have fixed road for councillors. Because councillors earn their own fund from the municipality where they operate from. This is the thing that we need to know. So therefore, councillors earn their own fund to fix the road. So you must hold your councillors accountable, ask them questions, how much allocation do they get for the year to go towards road repairs or road reconstruction.
Mr. Dawkins, sorry, explain to them when you use the word municipality, what it means, because some people don't know it as that, then they know another name for it. So,
well, it is the same thing as we call your parish council office.
Right.
In your parish capital.
Right.
And all parish council office in your parish capital. Right. And that is where your councillor that you elect operate from. That's where their office is. That's where they go to work and have parish council meetings and discuss the various intricacies of the responsibility of the parish council. Just as our central government meet at cabinet and discuss. Okay? And so therefore they earn their own fund. Right? Guys, what we must also understand. To our central government, one time for the year you pay property tax. But the garbage collect every single week for 2 times a week for the year. Your street light come on every evening after 6 o'clock. And as you go out, you run and call the council and report it. So your light or your gate blow or the right along the road blow. So it is important for us to pay our property tax. So guys, it is so important. And I really believe, I blame government sometimes, because maybe government not provide enough information out there to the people.
No, Mr. Dawkins, let me stop you right here. Let me stop you right there, Mr. Dawkins.
Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know.
This is where teachers come in. The teaching of civics in school. When PJ removed that, people became dumb to it. Right? Because guess what? If people don't know, they won't hold their political representatives responsible. But if they know, then they will hold them responsible. And under the PNP, accountability went through the door during that 18.5 years. Right? So
in closing, if you live in a constituency in Jamaica and you suffer damage to your roof and you're reported to the constituency office, and if you don't get any redress, ask your member of parliament, where is that $6 million that was given to them, that was allocated to them in February? These are the things, these are the important questions that we must ask and hold our government accountable. It is time now for us to break away from the old traditional politics and hold your government accountable and ask them to be transparent. That's all. I will pause here, let somebody else continue. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Miss Ella May, sorry to take so long, but
No problem.
I think when someone is on a useful point, we don't break them for the sake of breaking them.
Yes, it is all about educating us, and we all learn from it. And where there is anything to be clarified, we ask questions.
Right.
It was quite informative, so I pay special attention to it.
Right.
But anyhow, we are still on governance, and I was listening to you, Joshua. That's why I requested to get in the box. And somebody was talking about civics as well. And as far as my knowledge is concerned, is that this government works off a paradigm in which in which the prime minister is at the helm. Okay.
Oh, paradigm.
Yes, paradigm in which the prime minister is at the helm, right? In that we have our locality, which is our councillor. And I am of the opinion that the councillor is most important person in the locality, because they are the one who should have the interests of the locality at heart. We speak about civics as well, and civics is all about government and governance. And for that, I think the councillor is the one that should have this knowledge in which they can go out and educate people about government and governance. And if that is done, I think that will help a lot of people within their locality, because they are the first one. They are the ones that will help to enhance the community and educate the people as to how government works. Parish council is the one that takes care of the community. They are the ones that engaged people. They are the one at the forefront knowledge that anything that happened within their area, they are the one that should report to the MP, and the MP will take it to the government. How many councillors are doing that? Are they educated enough in which they can go out in community, have community meetings, engage each person, or even at schools or wherever there is any engagement any areas that they can go and engage people? I think if they do this and practice it, many people wouldn't have so many problems and blaming the government instead of blaming the parish council or the councillors. That was just my take.
Miss Ella, one point. All right. And I want to say this to Joshua and everybody in the live. All right. So, pertaining to what Miss Ella is saying, just I will give my little 2 cents to it. You know that I think that these people in the communities who are the supervisors, I think that these supervisors should be more, them to do more in the communities, because to me they are the one who they are the eyes, the ears, and the foots in the community for both the MPs and the councillors. So to me, these supervisors, they need to step up, because some of them are most of the supervisors in these communities are.
What are you referring? Sorry, Sonny. What are you referring to when you said supervisor? Who are you referring to?
You have the supervisors in each constituency. You have a supervisor who coordinate the workers and all of that for the councillors or the MP. So that person we would call them some people call them area leader, but to me they are the supervisors, because in my constituency, if anybody want to go to Mr. Warmington, I want to get anything from Mr. Warmington, if them don't come to me, they are going to go to the supervisor. And our supervisor, she's a role player, because if you go to her, the divisional yeah. But to me, we all right. You see the lady in my place, I'm telling her with her now. She is nice. People go to her, people can go to her and talk to her. She have to tell them, say, all right, then when you go down to Mr. Warmington, just like I tell the lady, the girl today. Go to Mr. Warmington. When you go down to Mr. Warmington, I'm going to tell you. It's either I'm going to tell her, say, he can help you now, or I'm going to tell her when to come back. You see me? I say, but in some of the areas, you have people like that who they're not jovial, they're not with the people, people can time people see them when voting time come, them come give one t-shirt, or them come tell us a voting time come. To me, them people, them for dip on the ground right through. So me I say them for look out for the people, them like, Miss June want house. I wonder if Miss June qualify for go on the social housing program. You see what I say? Because it's not exactly the MP I got know the president in the era who really want the help, you know.
So why are we hiding the councillors? That is their job because they are on the pyramid. Why are you hiding them and going towards some person?
No, I'm not saying we hide them, you know. No, I'm not hide them.
They are the ones because councillors, some councillors are being hidden, and more time people blame the MP and the government. You understand? The Prime Minister. Why not? The councillor is the first-hand person. They are in the community. They are the one that is representing us. Whenever we have any problem, they are the ones that we should see first. You call those people, they are the bridge in the community. You understand me? And they are the local authority. And they are the ones should participate in the decision making. And then from there, they report to the MP. So they are the one that we should look at. So they are not doing their job, and that is where the problem lies. That is why so many people are blaming the MP and the government.
Right.
All right, let me tell you something. You see in my area, you see if somebody want to get to the council or the MP, or we them a get to. We the people
and that is where it goes wrong.
We the people who listen to me.
They are shown their responsibilities.
Them will come to me, and me I will try to get to the council or the MP for them. You see me I say because what them are gonna say, you know, I know the council or the MP come ask them for vote, and we come. You see me? And we are the people them. We are the ground people them. So them come to we, and we have to do we have to do the head arrest.
Yo, so let me work. Guys, I'm not really can be as attentive as possible. So when you reach to me, I'll probably just come for the live. But since as me get just like a little 5 minutes free time just to add to that, like, you know, I agree with what, you know, Ella is saying, the councils should be readily available. But at the end of the day, I understand, you know, Sonny point of view. Yes, the councils, you know, are on the ground for the MP, but within each division, you have, you know, a certain amount of cluster supervisors that normally works on election day. And, you know, those cluster supervisors, along with other delegates of the party, they are more on the ground because they're working, you know, most times in the community, or, you know, they're easily accessible more than the councillors. So, like, I'll take my mother, for example, because my mother is a cluster supervisor. Any little thing at all in my community that, so for example, you know, she see a family that's been struggling, my mother pick up the phone and call the councillor right away. Sometimes she will call the MP, but she not gonna go over the councillor and call the MP. You get what I say? She contact the councillor and say, hey, guess what? They see such and such, you know, and you know, look like nothing not going for them. So I go on to see if you can do something and just, you know, chip in for them and things like that. Because my mother is not the type to just come and just hand you a shirt when it comes down to election. Persons come to my house for shirt, armbands, hat, and those stuff. You get what I'm saying? But my mother is this type of person. She's always out there, the type of job that she does. She's in the street, and I'm from a community where, you see, once them see the councillor, the first thing they're asking for is for $5,000, $2,000, $3,000. That's the first thing. They're not asking for help to, you know, to actually further themselves better. You understand? For schooling or whatever it may be, they're asking for $1,000, $5,000. So in most cases, the councillor would just say, you know, me not have that right now, XYZ. So most times, when anybody contact the councillor, them send them to my mother. And my mother will give them one little money. You know, one little drink money, or so if somebody has so far something, you know, them with it, my mother will just give it to them. And, you know, the councillor will just pay back my mother. Rather than him being down there and everybody are band rushing from all different critics and family. You get what I'm saying? But persons out there that are just begging non-stop and just begging for the wrong reasons. You get what I'm saying? So
You
I
see
mean,
what
I understand
happened?
what you're saying. There should be, because I definitely agree with you. The council should be down there in the street through and through. But you have to understand that most of these councils, they have other businesses running for themselves, you know, in addition to certain, you know, meetings that they have to, you know, to take part in or be in where parish council is concerned. So I
Truly.
mean,
One moment, Miss Ella. Let him land. There's a point.
yeah, I'm landing right there. Because
All
as I
right.
said,
So,
I just in out from work.
so to pick up from where Unruly left off, I see it from both sides that there could be, and I want to be careful, very careful what I say, there could be greater involvement on the part of the executive, the divisional executives, right? There could be. However, based on how the law is structured, that's one. And two, we have to remember that these are working persons, at least on the JLP side. These are persons who have their other jobs. Now, if they're going to be included, two things have to take place. There has to be an amendment to the laws, you know, making room for them to be able to participate in terms of going through the community and educating persons. Three, they would probably have to be employed full-time, right? Which means that there would have to be a budgetary allocation or money set aside in the budget for that purpose. In the absence of that, it is going to be very difficult for the divisional executives to be a part of the information process around the clock. What I do agree with Ms. Ella on is that there needs to be more town hall participation. That's one. And as I said from the very beginning, it needs to be brought back to school as not an elective, but a subject that is taught. So you don't have the option of choosing whether or not you want to learn about it. It is taught on a mandatory basis, right? Because we need to educate our populace. And Mr. Dawkins, though his presentation was very good, he made a little mistake. It's not the Prime Minister that gives the money, it's the Ministry of Finance, right? It is enshrined in law in terms of the CDF and, you know, these disbursement that needs to go to the respective political representative, but it's not the Prime Minister that gives it. It is something that is decided by the Parliament of Jamaica. And as such, it is distributed by the Ministry of Finance, right? Now, there's a gentleman in the chat that I want to address, Tyler Taylor. I don't know if he's misinformed, but I doubt it. And the reason I doubt it, because I presented on it. Mr. Dawkins gave an extensive presentation on it. Yet he's in the chat lying, as he would want to do for his party, stating
Tyler Taylor is the same young lady from earlier on.
Well, I thought it was a female. Oh, no, I thought it was a male. This person is lying. And if you go on their page, you'll realize that they are PNP because they have all sorts of comrade videos on their page, right? Lying about that the government is not doing this and the government not giving the money. Again, for those who are listening, for those who are in the chat, whether you're on the For You page or any place, these are things which are agreed on by Parliament. Every member of Parliament, it doesn't matter which side of the fence they are from, gets the same amount of money, and it's not something that government can decide that they are not giving the person. It is enshrined, and as such, they must get the money. So whoever want to say otherwise, they are liars. And I'm saying it without apology, right? And you should be ashamed of yourself, Tyler Taylor.
Right
Right.
now, Josh, I'm going to tell you something, brother. You know, say it's a script where the PNP, them are work with and I use it and I take the whole of it.
I know, and that is why
PNP surrogate them for
the lies.
to the way out there to that person that if them come from in my era, and that the such person who I run against Mr. Warmington, I tell them. So Mr. Warmington, I give them what a wicked and liar, man.
Yeah. They need to stop it. And you know, I wonder how. Let me ask you folks, not the persons in the box, but for those who want to propagate these lies. How do you sleep knowing that you're telling lies? How do you don't think that the curse of the lie that you tell against the leadership of the government and against the government in general, that curse will come upon grandchildren? You don't fear that?
Joshua.
Yeah?
Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Without I don't want to interrupt your mother relationship, but I don't want you to get distracted. You need to come back on board and run the platform as you started out. As you started with Winston, and then
I'm not actually being distracted per se, you know, because it's the same thing that we're talking about, the allocation.
Yeah.
So I just want them to understand that, listen, when they take these rooms, they're endangering. The Bible said the sins of the father go down to the third and the fourth generation. So I'm just reminding you that whatever you do, even if you tell lie against the Prime Minister, you must remember that one day you're creating a curse for your kids and your grandchildren. So think carefully.
But let us get back. Let us get back to run it. Who next is in line?
So Flowers is in line. Go ahead now, Flowers. Flowers.
2 lakhs.
Stop thief out the meat out of the pot and answer no.
Make 2 lakhs go ahead if he's because I'm busy. You got your peer nice in my background.
Yeah. Oh yes.
But LMA.
2 lakhs. Sorry. 2 lakhs.
LMA had actually cover the point because I don't know why she's still over there. I read what in my mind. So she covered most of the top what I was about to speak on. So that's fine. So 2 lakhs can go ahead.
You're not class a copy, man. 2 lakhs, go ahead, sir. 2 lakhs, man, let's trim you up.
Yes. I'm here, you know, most of those things that the gentleman says in regards to the funding of the members of parliament and the parish councillors, those are things that I know because I've been an activist since I was a PNP supporter. You understand? And now that I support the Jamaica Labour Party, I am still an activist. I might not be moving up and down against Mr. Warp or Miss Dalrymple Filbert or any of the JLP candidates in my constituency because I work out of my constituency. I live out of my constituency. But when it's voting time and time for parade, that's exactly where I'll be. But besides that, I spread the good news of the Prime Minister because it is something that I have never beheld before, you know, and seeing the achievements of Jamaica and to know that all these achievements have been acquired within the past 10 years to up to date. It is very appealing and warming and welcoming. And there are people who sees truth for what it is. And they see the gullible functions of the People's National Party and its supporters. You understand? So I just see whereas there are people who are willing to be bought and not just being bought, but are willing to sell their future and the future of their children and their country to people who colonize this world or this earth. You understand? And it is a sad case, but it's fact. They are willing to sell themselves. Well, they have already been bought for cheap, very, very cheap. Donald Trump would say, it's not that they get a lot of money, it's very cheap. Yeah, you could take the money that they get and buy a couple of sweets, yes. So That's how cheap they sold themselves for, and they're willing to sell the rest of the country for even cheaper. You understand? And it is a sad situation, but we have to just continue highlighting the things that the Prime Minister has done in his tenure so far. And we are hoping and we are pushing forward for him to get a third term. I strongly support his third term. I am giving it everything I have. I'm not being in any argument with nobody. All I know is that that's what I'm supporting. And I'm seeking people to support the growth of our country. And the growth that I have seen so far, I am confident that it will get stronger and stronger, So, yeah, man. May I go and listen?
Thank you, sir.
Learn.
Thank you, sir. I have two things that I want to insert before we move on to Kingston 11. I find it very interesting that those who are thinking people, whether they be PNP or JLP, tend to be more fear-minded in their assessment of what's happening in this country. And the majority of those who are thinking people do not usually stay with the PNP once they find out once they do their checks. They usually don't stay with the PNP because they are more able to disseminate and to decipher between falsehood and truth. Right? The other thing is that I will take a slightly different position from most of my colleagues. I don't focus on the third term, It's the same thing really, but I focus on the continuation of the work. Right? Because if Jamaicans will be foolish enough to give the PNP even a chance, it is foolish for more reasons than one. One, PNP have no intention of continuing the work. We heard Mark Golding says if he's elected, he's going to. That was the original argument that they put forward, and then they realized it's not selling. Is that the school bus?
They're abandoned it.
Right? The second thing that he said also is that if he's elected, the social housing program, this is the program that helps people who can't afford any house or they don't live anywhere. He's going to scrap it. When he realized that it's not selling, him change him out again. Right? So he has not changed his mind, just changed his mouth. Right? And the third thing I hear the PNP mentioning is the amount of taxes that they're going to throw on the Jamaican people. They're going to tax education. They're going to tax
imported things.
Imported stuff, right? So importation and farming stuff that is going to be taxed. Right? They're going to let teachers work 2 more hours and by extension keeping our school children out later than they should be. The same Damien says in the last 10 years, this is his word, that over 60,000 young girls, underage young girls, got pregnant. That works out to 6,000 per year on an average. No, 600 per year. Yeah, 6,000 per year. Yeah. Right? That works out to just about 6,000 per year, And when you divide it, it works out to almost 2 per day. Yeah. And yet you want to keep our young girls out on the road later than before. For them to be out on the road where they can either frolic or be taken away and have more pregnancies than previously. So even if later on they change their mind to say this will be volunteer because they realize that the teacher now buy into the argument. And he's not thinking that if they're out later on the road, then the likelihood of having more pregnancies would have been greater. Huh?
Joshua, stick up in one thought, but our birth rates are down. Our birth rates are low.
No, I'm not even thinking about the birth rate. I'm saying if what he said is true, right? We're looking at the fallacy that he has presented, the foolishness of the argument.
As he always stated, the fallacy.
Right. And you're criticizing the fact that the Prime Minister has gone out to half a tree to engage with the people, but you're gone out there and wipe carry glass while you're criticizing the human being. You know, so it shows you, and I've pointed out all of these things because it shows you that the PNP has no clear vision for the continuation of the work of this country, right? He's promising $1 billion to bloggers, which is free money. He's saying that $1 million to young people, to 20,000 young persons who want to own a home, $500,000 each, you know. When you calculate it, you get $21 billion, I think that's what it came up to, right? Now, or a little less, right? Now when you, and all of this, right, we need to ask ourselves, where is that money coming from? Because you have other recurrent expenditures in the budget, plus the 1 billion that he's promising, plus other money that he's promising. And strangely enough, NHT only take 3,500 as deposit for the home, so they don't need the $5 million that he's promising. So why are you?
The idea, because the idea is not proper. Just go and say, but you already said already, Elder, that the idea is not properly thought out. But that when my time come, I contribute to the aspect.
Right. So having said that, I'm just saying to Jamaica, beware. You know, the wolf will come among you and promise you grass, but it's so that them can catch the sheep. Right. Right. So Kingston 11, your turn. Go ahead.
Blessings, Jamaicans, and well wishers and thinkers of good policy and governance. We earlier I think between Joshua and Mr. Winston, they mentioned about government policy and the PNP waiting for handout. If you look up, it's not that the people of Jamaica is not getting back from the government, but what they are missing is the direct hand-to-hand passing of money, which doesn't benefit the overall population. It only benefits a certain group. And that is why the PNP will cry that nothing are going on, because they're not getting that money that they used to get. In 2016, when we just started government and we made our budget forecast, the first supplementary that came up in September 2016, there was a collection of $5 billion that the government didn't know about. The government had a surplus of $5 billion just by recording what they were collecting. They were able to get that money, and that money was able to benefit the people of Jamaica, not just the comrades who used to sit on corner, wait for every 2 weeks or a month in time, when as much as a scandal bag would drop at certain man's foot and then take it or distribute your brown envelope that they used to get. All of these are cut out. So the PNP will come and cry daily that nothing are going, because they have to now join the workforce, which they are not a part of and they don't want to be a part of. So the cry will continue. But we need to understand that it was because of the PNP policy in the 70s, where money take our revenue and savings and share it up, give man to go buy bike, and it's supposed to be farmers, and then take the money and loot it and drink out rum and all sorts of things. That is what the PNP have come accustomed to. So they will cry today that nothing now going. But if we check the social programs, all that is coming through the social pension, where people who never work get a pension now. The part increase over the 9 years. You would see where it move up and where people are getting more benefit. All of these are programs that are designed to help the poor and vulnerable, but it's not concentrated only at the PNP. It is for all of Jamaica. It doesn't carry a color. Even though in some government agency there are people there who are sabotaging the system.
Just a minute, Kingston 11. Sonny, are you hearing me? Sonny?
Yeah, man, I'm there, man.
Block Tyler Taylor for me now, please.
All right.
Yeah, 2 lakhs leading here.
Yes.
Let's say 2 lakhs.
Bless up on yourself.
All right, brother. I want this money. They're not sending a request. I want to send a request. Tyler Taylor.
Himself a black car.
Oh. Just a year, yes, G. But one time, my moderator, then I'm supposed to get black long time, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
And you can bring up Jamaican and Brazilian if they want to talk.
All right.
So the policies of the government is no for benefiting all Jamaican. We don't check your color to see if you are qualified. We don't want to know of your color or who you vote for. The benefit is for all of Jamaica. Yeah. So there is a difference in how government operate these days. So if you don't decide to work, then you're going to be up against the wall all the time. But there's work for you to earn and be your own person, independent, and your children will follow after you and be good citizens of Jamaica if you lead. I'll learn for now.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Good point. You finish? Kingston 11, are you finished?
Yeah, man. Make somebody else start, then I'll come back on.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Paul Stewart, what say you, sir?
Yeah, no, for on the same vein, like my piece is going to from a kind of mixed bag, because I want to start it out that I agree with both Ilem and the boy, that, and I want to start it by saying this, that good and perfect are not to be enemy of itself, you know. So both of them position is on par. There's a need for the party workers to ensure that the councillors eyes and ears within the different corners. Because truth be told, the councillors is not going to be knowledgeable about all the details within the division. So the workers can help to pull up and help to reminder of different areas that need to be attended to in our absence, and so both of them can work together. That is not an issue. And I agree with Joshua that the whole role of civil within the society need to improve, because there's an absence of knowledge about the role of government and what government is about and what it is not about. It's against this background I see what is taking place in places like Majestic Garden, that people seem to think that don't have a sense of what the role of the member of parliament is and the role of the government is, and by extension the states, right? And we have seen a lot of these things happen where people don't know how their member of parliament work, what is their responsibility to the community and to the citizens within the constituency. I agree with Kingston 11 that the policy of the government is about the people of Jamaica. It's not about a selective few, right? It has to be about the people of Jamaica. All of us are a part of the whole mix, right? And all of us feel the challenge or the lack thereof within the Jamaican society. And because of that reason, the government has to be mindful that all of these policies tailor-made to reflect the intent and purpose of each one of the citizens. And therefore, when you look at the whole question on the bus service, as I said in previous space, that it is part and parcel of the new developmental mode of operandi that is taking place. The infrastructure are systematically being improved or put in place to reflect the intent of the people and what the people want to see happen, the new Jamaica, and what Jamaica people aspire to become, right? And therefore, all of this is not a mistake. It's not about a type of arrangement. It's a deliberate attempt to refashion, reposition however we want to look at it, the entire country, so that we can take advantage of the new 21st century type society that we are moving into. And therefore, moving the children in a dignified and protective way to and from school has to be a part of that, has to be an extension of it. It's not a separate entity. Right? Getting finance in place, getting the macroeconomic in place, and everything that flows from it is not a separate entity. Teachers getting better paid is not a separate entity from the proper management of the economy. And this is where the media need to come into play, is to help people to understand that the development, the proper organization of the macro structure explain why we are where we are today in terms of ability to afford buses, garbage truck, and other things that make the country better. See, that is an important part of the discussion that we need to connect. We can separate, we can think, well, the teachers get paid. Because we know teachers getting paid and getting more money today than before, because there was a Nigel Clark and the oldest and all the other Gabriel Williams who are fixed on what must be done to get the team right. And we appreciate these people because we are better off today because these people are there. And so it is important that we get this type of message out there. That none of what is happening is separate or linked. Or it is linked, and it's especially linked to the bigger picture, which is having the right people in place. And that is why it's important that when the people go back to the poll, whenever it is called, that they remind themselves that it is important to keep this party that formed the government in office. Because we have seen how the things has moved in a progressive way, progressively upward. And so we have to, that these are some of the things that we have to bear in mind. That nothing separate. Right? Nothing separate. So I will rest until you come back over to me.
All right. Thank you, man. I want to welcome Mr. Uriel and Samwise.
Joshua, 1 minute. Right. Tony, don't move it. Don't move. Wait, if connecting want to come up, you can take my box. I don't mind listening.
We don't want to come on. We don't want to come on.
Me too. That's why that Kingston level stay where you are. I was about to say, but let me say this. As Mr. Uriel said, made the point about teachers, and we talk about teachers, and there was this all angles program where the principal of ALCLC, that's how the school name, and the government minister. And they were talking about the intervention, the programs of the schools, the programs that are put in place for the children. And and I'm saying this all along, Damian Crawford said children are not going to school, they are getting pregnant, they're not learning, and all of that. There are programs in place. And as the young lady, the educator, mentioned, that when these children are assessed, sometimes they're taken out of school for a year, they don't see them again. When they contact the parents said they are not wrong with them, that. So if the children are not in school, they can't teach them, they can't do the necessaries. So therefore, the parents must be held accountable 100%, and I agree with her, because it can't be. Then we are coming down on the government and on the teachers, and we the parents stand aside and fold our hands and do nothing and blame other people for our downfall as a parent. And I don't know if anybody else has see that program with Dan Jackson.
I never saw it, Flowers. However, and stand by connecting. I want to agree with that sentiment, even outside of the reason that was given, because one of the reasons we are not doing well in our.
And you can take me down and you can put connecting in my position.
Right.
I will stay on the 4 years.
Go ahead, Sonny. One of the things that used to happen in our youthful days is that our parents used to ask us if we get homework. And some of them, though they could not read or could hardly read, or they didn't have a college education, insisted that we did our homework. Or sometimes when them can't read, them get either a bigger child to help us or a next door neighbor to help us. These parents, if you want to do your homework, you want to do your homework. Except for when them pitney get assignment, they do the assignment for the kids. You don't help a child to learn that way when you do the assignment for them. You know, the project, when you get the project, you do it and your child get good marks, and it's not them do it, it's you do it. So you're not helping the child. All right, so I just want to drop that there. All right. So waiting on connecting to come up, and as we progress along the journey.
I'm trying to get out, but
no man, it's easy. It's easy. Just select the back button. Hold on, Miss Ella. Miss Ella, just hear me out. Select the back button.
I did.
There's an arrow and it's going to ask if you want to confirm.
I did, but I don't. Oh, yeah, it come up now.
Right. Right. Now, as we progress along the discussion, there are two things that I want us to look at. And it all has to do with a comparison between the PNP and the JLP. When both parties are in power, what are some of the things that happen versus what doesn't happen? Such as the cost overrun with projects that used to take place and we're not seeing it now and all of those things. But I want to progress. We have everyone who was here a long time has spoken. Samwise, you and then Mr. Senior. Samwise? Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Sonny, look connecting.
Yes, man. Big up yourself, Joshua.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. I saw the discussion the other day between you and Shaka. Wonderful discussion.
Thank you, man.
I enjoyed that. Two things I want to put, and one of them is in the form of a question. All right. So I was listening. I think it was last night to a conversation between Damon Crawford and CM Shaka Fame. And in that conversation, I heard Damon Crawford say that they are going to, if they form the next government, they are going to write off some loans from some teachers that would apply for loans through the Students Loans Bureau. They would write off some of that loan. Basically, almost everything. For those, depending on how long you stay back after you get the degree, you stay back and teach in Jamaica. No, my thing is this about that, and I have no problem with what they're proposing. But with all of these goodies, Joshua and Panel, that they are coming with, can somebody answer me? Can somebody explain to me where will all of these money come from to fund it? Because if you're gonna write off loans for some teachers, how will the bureau be able to fund other applicants in the near future?
Samwise. Hold on, Sir Dawkins. Let him land the point, and then we can give you an opportunity just to weigh in on it. But we want to be as orderly.
Right, yeah, man. That is one. The next one is
make a note. Sorry, Mr. Dawkins, get a pen or a piece of paper and just make a note on anyone who has outstanding questions. All right.
All right, and this is the next one now, Joshua and Panel. And I think it's a big up yourself, Solidan. There is this thing going around now on TikTok where certain bloggers for the PNP they claim to say that they have the affidavit. Joshua, can you explain to us, because what I heard Nationwide said about that affidavit, isn't that from the 2018 report where his statutory declaration was eventually certified, that they're pulling that sections of that report from his, am I mistaken where that is concerned? Because they are running with this to let it look like it's something current to the no investigation. Because what I understand is that affidavit that they're talking about comes from the 2018 report for which the Prime Minister was certified. So I don't know what these people are trying to. I think they are pulling at straws now. They are basically out of ideas. They are out of touch with the people, and they are basically just pulling at straws to try and come back or try to be relevant again. You understand? Because I think they sense that Jamaica has already rejected them, you know, because they're not coming with anything fruitful to the people that is appealing to them. Because these electorate now are asking questions. Where will the money come from? How will you fund it? For how long will it last? And what's the duration to get it, to get these things implemented? Because all these things that they are proposing, they have to fulfill them, you know, because the people would vote based upon the promises that were made to them. No, my question is, where will they get the money from to do all of these things? Plus the affidavit, Joshua, I would love to hear you address that for me.
All right. So two things. I am not familiar with the discussion that the PNP, the new strategy that they're on with this so-called affidavit, because that's a lie. Right? That's one. Right? And then secondly, we can crunch some of the numbers that we have available, because PNP like to pull a rabbit out of the hat that doesn't exist. And then thirdly, you said they are running out of idea. You can't run out of something that you never had before. Right? You just can't run out of something that you never had. And the PNP has never had any credible ideas. So I'm not impressed by the fact that the PNP wants to, run now with something and to be making promises. It has always been the PNP strategy to make promises from Michael Manley days. But are these promises being fulfilled when they make it? No, they usually don't. And that is why they tend to take the ideas and the achievement of the Jamaica Labour Party and claim it as theirs. And that is why whenever we achieve anything, they come on the live and say, boy, not just on the live, but even in the public space and in their documentation to say it was there. I remember once, late last year, I was looking at a document that was put out by Lisa Hanna at the time, 20 things that happened under the PNP. And the first 5 that they put under there were Jamaica Labour Party achievements. The first 5. Right? Let me give you, Sonny, see if I see connecting and bring him up, please. You hear Sonny?
In September. Remember, Mr. Darkin had a party taken.
Right.
So they are asleep, man.
Yeah, man. So, Mr. Dawkins, you had a rebuttal or something that you wanted to add before we got to Mr.
Thank you, sir. It's not a rebuttal. It's to just answer the question that Samwise asked. I think he's asking a very important question here. Samwise, I also saw the video that is circulating. What happened here, sir, is that Damian Crawford is doing nothing more than touching off the straw. You know, when you jump from a plane of a altitude about 41,000 feet without a parachute, you will just about hold on to anything because you don't want to have a sudden impact. And even if I even to hold on at the breeze, you will try to do so. And so therefore, what Damian Crawford is trying to do here, sir, is trying to play a psychological game. He knew that the JTA, the Jamaica Teachers Association, always inclined to support the People's National Party. It is a PNP garrison, so to speak, and we know that. It is one of the institutions of this country that are grossly compromised of their responsibility. And so therefore, he's now appealing to them by alleviating them of their own responsibility. Maybe before the election, how he will come and tell us that you will just go to the classroom and mark a register and have a teaching subject. Maybe that is what left I'm going to put on the table next. You see, if you are going to say, okay, teacher, when you get your student loan and you go and get your first degree or your second degree, and you decide to remain 10 years in Jamaica and teach, you will not pay any student loan. The government now will have to subsidize that. So the question is, where will the government find that money to provide that subsidy?
That's my question, bro.
That's the
That is my
question.
question.
And so therefore now, when you do that, you will turn to the poor people, and then you will ask the poor people to pay more by taxing them.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because remember, you know, the student loan fund is a revolving fund, right?
Yes.
It's a revolving fund. So if you keep on taking money out of this pool of fund and not putting back any, the government would have to continue to fill this fund, right? And for government to continue to top up this fund, the government would have to provide the taxes. Because you realize that the PNP are not talking nothing about expanding the Jamaican economy, but they're going to subsidize everything.
That is my concern too.
They're going to subsidize everything. So if you're going to provide subsidy for everything, and these are just empty socialist promises.
Yeah.
If you are going to provide subsidy for so many things in the economy, where will this fund come from? And so therefore, you see like the housing social program that the government have here now going, and I'm touching so many lives. Maybe within the first 100 days they will scrap this. Maybe they will apply user fee back in the hospital. You understand? And so somewise the problem here is that it should have been our major media houses who should be here asking this drilling question. But unfortunately, sir, our media houses, which is supposed to be a vanguard of our democracy, has also sell them soul. Back your selfish. Unfortunately.
True.
All right.
And that's a scary thing, you know. That's a scary thing. It is scary just imagining a PNP-led government. No, it is scary thinking about it. When I think about it, it just drives a fear in me. Just imagining having a Mark Golding as Prime Minister with a Peter Bunting there and a what's his name? Damian Crawford and this other one. What is his name? What is the Gensec? You understand? It is scary just imagining these guys.
All right.
It's scary, man.
So, Samwise and Mr. Dawkins, I want to reiterate what Mark Golding says, because Mr. Dawkins says perhaps, and this is not a perhaps, Mark Golding says if he becomes Prime Minister, he's going to scrap the social housing program. So you said perhaps he will. I'm telling you what the man said out of his own mouth.
Yeah, perhaps.
Right? This is not a perhaps thing. This is what he plans to do. Right? Now, for the general listenership, whether it be PNP, JLP, or unattached, another thing you have to remember is that everything that government does depends on funding, right? And these fundings are usually through taxation. All of these promises that PNP is making to you, they have to tax the economy. PNP has never had an economy since 1992 that they have never taxed. Never. In fact, under their tenureship, taxes usually go up. Right? They tax party, they tax on card, they try to tax life insurance, and we, small group of us, met with the then Minister of Finance, Omar Davis, and caused him to roll it back. Right? PNP love to tax people, which means that your life is going to be hard. Right? So be careful, folks. Don't make the wolf come to you and promise your grass when it's eating more, eat the sheep. All right? So having said that, I'm going to give Mr. Uriel an opportunity to speak. Mr. Senior?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Yes. Good afternoon to the panel and good afternoon. And
before you
want to start.
Mr. Senior, before you speak, Samwise, since you're still here, the promises that the PNP made about writing off. Come up with a hypothetical figure of $300,000 per year for 5,000 teachers. For 5,000 new teachers to the system yearly, and point out how much money the PNP would have to find, hypothetically. So 5,000 new teachers in the system at $300,000. Right? When you find it, then you can notify, after Mr. Senior done, then you can notify us. Sonny, there's a space, connecting can come up. All right. So go ahead, Mr. Senior, please.
Yes, sir. I want to start off by asking the people at the top, 120 here, to listen carefully from this woman. And I want to start off with the children and in school. When I was growing up, I used to have even no lunch and go to school. And I have to go to school because my book and everything has been searched when I reach home. So when people are walking around and speaking about government...
Daddy Senior, hold on 1 second, a minute. Hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see Sonny not responding, I'm a moderator on the live and I'm watching the live. I can't put up myself, but one other moderator put me up. Please, I'm asking you guys on the live, if the live should end, Sonny gone sleep, because he probably have word later. Also, please be respectful on the live. I will be watching the comment section. Also, I just made a video on Mark Golding's speech last night in Westmoreland where he says he will be taxing imported food. So you all know what that means. So go like, comment, and share the video to the world so we can get the message across. Because as a labor rights, we have to spread the gospel. Now, do all of that and be respectful until bro live ends. Whenever I'm seeing a respond, I'm just asleep, all right? Keep talking now, Daddy.
Yes, okay. So yes, I was saying this, and I know, and I am sure that no teacher are responsible for us until we leave that, when we leave that classroom. Going on. When the teacher starts us in the morning, the teacher has a responsibility to teach us. If we head tough, another teacher fault. When we get home to our parents, if our parents if we cannot produce something that we learn that day in our book, sometime one book we do everything in, for we never have no whole heap of book like these children. Some of them are used to half a book. That's what they could afford. And we have to write everything in it. And when them run through that book and if them see anything in there, no mark, is hell. Why no mark? We have to find good excuse. They will give us a chance until tomorrow. Tomorrow when we come home. And if no mark now, we and our parents is going to see teacher face to face the following morning. Now, it surprised me to listen every day that people are complaining about the government not doing anything for education. The government, it's not the government make love to their parents and give that child. So it is fully the responsibility of the mothers and fathers who get that child into this world to protect them from anything that is evil against them. So if you allow your child to go anywhere and everywhere, you allow your child to do anything and everything, then you cannot blame the teacher in generally or the government for what your children is doing. It is your responsibility. So let me say this. If a child got pregnant in school, it is abomination. Because that child were let go to the world, right? Maybe the mother never sit down with her and talk to her in the right way. Maybe the father never give an helping hand to show the danger, what it is. So that child get out of hand and do what pleases him. It come with a sad cost. Now, my brother and sister, I just wish every day that we would go back to the golden days of when all we grow up with these parents to know that they are responsible for their kids and stop blaming government. And I can blame teacher in some ways too, because teacher, some of them is also lazy and they are only there for the money. Many of them are not there to teach. They are just there for the money. So yes, there's a breakdown there too. But don't blame the government. After the government provide a place for you to go to school, which would rain fall you on a shared roof, and if you are to get free food, you get it, and you get a free blackboard and everything to learn. So it's very sad to hear we, the Jamaican people, are blaming the government when our children fail. It is not proper. The other thing again I want to say to all of us here today is this. I'm asking a question. If you were in the middle of this huge shark and you trying to escape, but you escape the land area, how would you feel if you get to the land or when you find you go to the shallowest place? You were in the deep, but you reach to this shallowest place that feel your foot touch that sand, or you can run out the sea. How would you feel? Would you feel joyful or would you feel sad? A question to the panel. To the panel, a question. That's a question I asked.
Obviously would feel relief, Mr. Yer.
Okay, all right. I would feel joyful and relief when my foot touched on that dirt in the sea where I could run out now instead of continue swimming. Saying this to say that this country has reached a point in life where we are on the ground. We are not in the sea anymore. We are on the ground, and we are on the ground to run and go forward. We are not swimming anymore. We are not trying to save our life anymore because we are on land, we are on the ground. And I say this to say that, why would we turn back the tides that went back in the sea where we know that the shark is there to name us? Let me talk it in the patois way. None of us would not do that. So why Jamaica want to turn now, to turn around to give a man who can't even run his own business to run this country? And another thing I want to say to you people, never you say the PNP have never done anything to this country. I've never done anything in this country. Yes, for one thing I can sure, they take a hammer and a breaking ball and break this country to pieces each time they are in power. I say my word. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Senior. Even though Kimmy is a moderator, Kimmy want to add to the discussion, so we give him a little piece. And I think connecting may be in the chat, so take him up. Connecting the dots.
So I can send him an invite, but I'm not seeing his request.
All right, so just one little guide to you, even though you're a moderator. Treat it like how you treat your life. Don't come out with your guns. You have a tendency sometimes to come out with your guns.
When them upset me, my guns come out. When them upset me, my guns come out.
Anyhow, I want to say here, moderator. Hi, Kimmy. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. I'm not seeing him in the live.
All right, let me call him back because he was there. One more, Mr. Dawkins. Well, you're responding to something that was stated, or are you giving the moderator?
Yes, sir. I want to say something that was stated.
All right. Moderator, just give you a chance so you gather your thoughts together, Mr. Dawkins. Just speak and then you. Go ahead, Mr. Dawkins.
Thank you, sir. I'm going back to what Samwise has also said. You see, over the years, the PNP has taxed the hell out of the Jamaican taxpayers, out of the Jamaican people. The fundamental question here today is, what have we gotten for all of these years of taxation from the People's National Party? After 18 and a half years in unbroken leadership of this country, after the end of the PNP reign, we have totally lost our major infrastructure in this country. And guys, what I mean our roads were in total shambles. Our hospital, our health centers, our fire station, our police station, our courthouses, our bridges.
Don't go there yet, Sir Dawkins. There'll be room for that, and that is why one of the reasons I said.
And so what I'm saying here.
One moment.
With all of those.
Hold on.
With all of those.
Mr. Dawkins, just a minute.
Remember, no speaking over each other. Be respectful. Thank you.
Just a minute, Mr. Dawkins. Just hear me out. That is why I'd say.
Make him land. Him have a countdown though. That's why I'm set it. So you could have make him land.
Yeah, man. That is why I said.
We are run from a pattern and a format of discussion. Listen to what Joshua is saying. He was
so what I was saying, Mr. Dawkins, remember I said that the next phase of the discussion we'll be looking at what they have done versus what we have done. So we can talk about the hospital and the roads at that time.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So by saying I only touch it, I only go there to really embody the point that I'm trying to make. Damon Crawford now is making a promise to teachers that if they form the government, if the People's National Party form government, they will take away the responsibility of teachers to pay their student loan. Right? That's basically what he's saying. And so therefore I'm saying that we have provided so many subsidies in this country towards teachers before. The question what we must ask today, what are the benefits that the taxpayer of this country gain from it? We have lost some of our best teachers to the overseas teaching recruiting, which is more lucrative. We cannot compete with England and the United States or Canada. We just can't, right? And so therefore I am saying, instead of Damon Crawford talking about providing subsidy to the teacher, I think the better option is to grow the economy so we can afford to pay our teachers better. And when we can be able to pay not only just our teachers, but our public sector workers, when we can pay our public sector workers much better, we will be able to attract better or the best talent that are available to the public sector. And this would also minimize our people migrating. And so, as I say, Damon Crawford suggestion are just empty promises. We have gone down this road before, and this is just Damon Crawford is a reincarnation of a Michael Manley with empty promises, failed empty promises. And so therefore, I don't think our well-thinking teachers, and I know that it's preying on the psyche and the mind of people, because we are a people who love freeness, full stop. And I will say that with no apology. We are a people who love freeness without thinking about the implication of getting something free. But let us look and our people will have to provide the additional taxes to provide for these subsidy for the teachers. And at the end of the day, maybe some of them, yes, will stay for the 10 years, but after that, most of them will still leave, right? And then the Jamaican population, our Jamaican children, will still be shafted by not getting the best education there is. And so therefore, let us not fall for these empty promises, but let us be laser focused and put the message out there. And so it is important we have in this discussion so we can drill down into these empty promises and provide clarity to the people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moderator, Ms. Kimmy, your chance to add to the discussion or to bring something else up here.
So we all know the People's National Party was in Westmoreland last night campaigning. And what stood out to me last night was one part of the discussion was where he says he will be taxing imported foods. So more money can go in our pockets. Now this man don't even get the seat in a reach the seat yet, but he's already telling us the Jamaican people that we should expect taxes, basically, right?
Hey,
Now,
give me 1 minute there. Son is sleeping?
it seems so. So whenever it cut off Uncle Plank, I eat that.
John, let us stop the live. If we tap it will keep it alive.
Him now go Miss Holness meeting today.
I don't know, I asking him, so I'm supposed to see me there, fix up my shirt for go later on. I'm going to bubble a pot shortly. Not even I could no because that can't miss me. Although rain fall right now in a East Rural Center.
Rain fall a Lindsay too. One piece of thunder roll coil, Miss Ray say whole place mash up.
Yeah man. Rain. You come and Miss Holness?
If the rain now fall.
Uncle Planky have to come. What you mean? I drive.
You don't have to come. If the rain fall, I am not.
And want married after the live?
Nah. No, you
But
always feel offended when me attack you, Joshua. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning.
It rain. But how it fall up here, Uncle Plank, is like it stop, come down heavy, it stop, and go back. But the reason why me not gonna miss me, Miss Holness said I can't tell you that I'm a backyard. I walk go over Miss Holness thing later, you know, Uncle Plank. That's how close I am to it. So back to the taxing. If we don't understand imported goods being taxed, then we definitely have got things say as something good you must say when more farmers can get money, right? It's not true. Because once you start to import tax imported food, your grocery list is going to go up. The prices of food in supermarket, wholesale, market, wherever you go to shop, those prices are going to increase, all because imported foods are taxed. And he stated that it will be taxed by 1.1%. We think 1.1% a little bit of money, but truth and in fact, it is not. It is not a little bit of money. It's not something to say we can manage it. We won't be able to manage it. Right now, ramens is an imported food. Right, Joshua? Ramens is an imported food.
Yes, it is. It is.
Right now, a pack of ramens is for $100, right? Now, you tell me, and my son loves ramens. So when me buy a case of ramens this month, Uncle Joshua, for, let's say, 9 bills. Next month, me and I can probably buy the case of ramens, right? Because it's probably gonna $1,500, and that's imported food. I can also touch on cornflakes, cereals that that people love, children love. Those are imported food as well. Those are imported. If you don't know what imported means, I'm not talking food that we make here. Most of everything that we eat is imported. When it comes to the supermarket, rice, most of everything that we eat is imported aside from our national bread and all of these things that make in Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, if your child loves to eat, my child loves to eat Frosted Flakes. I buy the big bag of Frosted Flakes. The things that my son loves to eat, most of the things that he loves to eat is imported. Most. Right? I support small business. Of course,
He may please to point out that there are few manufactured companies in Jamaica, so we don't manufacture tea.
No, she's traveling along. She's traveling along. So give her some room.
Yeah, man, we never finish. Now, the little bit of things that we make in Jamaica, right? To say we're going to eat for ourselves, it will not happen that we won't have to buy imported food because we are not distributing that much. We don't have that much factories in Jamaica making food for us. We have to rely on the food that is coming in. Taxing imported food is a no. It's a big no. You understand? While it is that we can say to ourselves, if we want to buy jerk seasoning, we can buy that at Jamaica. I'm here talk about seasonings mostly. Bread, bun, sugar, flour. What else we make? What else we make? Some people help me. Oil is imported. Cooking oil is imported to Jamaica.
All wheat.
Biscuits, except for the Excelsior biscuit, them Oreos.
Most butters. Most of the butters.
All of your children that love
the yeast that go in the bread.
Liquor is imported. One to the people them will love goat, like Uncle Plank.
Sorry, the yeast that goes in the bread.
Yeast. These guys, what are we saying here?
The clothes that you wear. The clothes that you wear.
Should this man get into power, we're going back to the days when everything did married up. That's what we're gonna go back to. Bulla we make here, the east we cook the bulla we make here. The east have to come here to make a bulla. The bread have to come, the east have to come here to make the bread. So almost, even though they are making in Jamaica, they still have ingredients that are imported to make them. So why are we still, I just do it the video a while ago on my page. We don't understand. Them I think imported food mean the big things like layers and you know, the big turkey and the this and those, not those alone, people. Not those alone. Every single thing, 99% of everything, milk, where you love to buy, surge milk, where you love to buy, all of these things, the only few little things, liquor. How much men love drink liquor? How much man I go on just continue drinking a restaurant beer? You get what I mean, Uncle Joshua? It's not possible. Man love drink them Hennessy, them whisker, them apple vodka, them sky vodka. Me love sky vodka.
But
me want
Kimmy,
to be able to afford sky vodka.
But Kimmy, what on the Kimmy? The Ministry of Finance just submit a balanced budget to the Parliament. And line by line, the Minister of Finance has outlined how this budget will be funded. Right? And why is it that now the opposition is proposing a tax on import food items?
No.
For what? For what? For a reason. Why we just produce a balanced budget to the people?
Mr. Dawkins.
Because they don't understand what imported is. Down to the package we're going at the sitting them is imported. Everything that we make, and even we make the things, everything that we make in Jamaica, these things to make them comes from import, outer port. We have to get them in the country. Why is it we are going to vote for a man where already I tell you what the tax are going to go? Oh, it are going to go. The farmers who buy the seeds, the melon seeds, the this seed, the that seed, the sweet corn, the this, the that. Hello, imported. So that sector alone I go suffer. So down a market, remember they make one video where say market at $2,000 a pound. Market I go be $2,000 a pound for cabbage. Market I go be 1 melon I go be at one good $1,000 a pound. A melon right now $150. You have to import everything that you use in your ingredients. So don't be tricked by saying 1.1% is a little bit of money. It is not. It is not. A box of Frosted Flakes right now. I'm not talking even the packing of Uncle Josh. I talk the box, the little small box at $450 for it. And the little small box served my son 2 days because he loves Frosted Flakes. That's why I have to buy the big pack.
So Lasco, just imagine.
Flowers. Lasco him use Search Island milk, make him Frosted Flakes, but the ingredients for Lasco use to make it Lasco are imported. When you realize that my son not gonna have no food to eat? Yes, Flowers?
Was just saying, as much as you have some company that manufactures, you reiterated before, we still need, because even for Carl's make ketchup and the ketchup paste is imported.
The syrup on the back juice is imported. You're gone too far. Come back.
No, not the syrup. Not the syrup. The flavoring. Some of the flavorings are imported.
Right, the syrup is made from sugar, and we get sugar locally.
The syrup is made from sugar, so Carl's manufactures the syrup, but the flavoring, some of the flavorings also, you understand, is
imported.
Exactly.
Is imported.
Not just that, Timmy. I want to add to what you're saying. Bear with me a bit.
Yeah, man.
Most of the juices that comes in boxes and cans that we drink, if you read the ingredients, because I make sure most of the things that I'm purchasing, I read the ingredients before. When you read the ingredients, the colors that go in it are artificial coloring, and they come from overseas. Right? The most of the onions that is purchased in Jamaica come from Dominica and those countries, right? So, and the Irish potato. So what it means is that not only will your supermarket prices go up, but your restaurant prices.
Exactly. You can't go eat out again.
Right. And if they're planning on taxing import overall, then all of your clothing items will go up. Right. So
love buy clothes machine.
Right. So I'm glad you raised that, because it never even crossed my mind.
It'll bring up inflation.
Well, it crossed my mind because I mentioned it before you came to the live. Sorry. It did cross my mind. I mentioned it before you came to the live. That the tax that they're proposing
is going to be
guys,
to keep the live going. Tap the screen.
But so that I don't forget, one of the reasons the PNP intend to do this, one, is to fund their party activists. Sorry. They want to fund their party activists because they keep their party activists happy. That is why they were complaining about the down payment of the debt to GDP, because when the debt to GDP is paid off quickly, they have no reason for claiming that they cannot fund the budget. Right? Because it is there. It would be so low, so they wouldn't have any reason to say, boy, they can't fund the budget. So now that it's being paid off, and that excuse has gone through the door, they have to find another way to squeeze the Jamaican people. So if you think your life, even those who are lying that them life hard now, if you think your life tough, let in the PNP through that door.
That is it.
School
uniform. Look at what's gonna happen, Joshua. All of the book them we Pitney use, they're imported. So back at the class Pitney we are gonna have. Don't check. Don't split these. The pencils are imported. The pens, the marker, the highlighter, the glue, the cartridge paper. The what you call that? The little math something. What them use that? That little kit something the way you use the maths. Imported.
I wonder if people realize how true the statement is that PNP don't know how to manage the economy. Hey, Kimmy, just by you saying this is really strengthening the point, PNP do not know how to manage an economy. That is why they have always wrecked the economy, because right now we can see the economy commit suicide. And the PNP.
Joshua.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's true, Joshua. That's true.
Joshua.
Yes, sir. One moment, Mickey. Let us see if anybody was here before you. Plank was here before you, so let Plank speak and then.
Plank is always there, man.
No, he wasn't here earlier. We're doing it according to order. Everyone has spoken in an orderly fashion, so It's Plank and then you. Write down your points because usually you have a lot to say, Barrakim, and I love to hear when you speak. I really love to hear when you speak. It's not patronizing. I love to hear when you speak. Mass Plank. My enemy Plank. I take with my girl, them, I'm not like that.
You there. Uncle Frank, the rain stop. Uncle Frank, the rain stop. The rain stop.
Plank.
You understand? So I don't know that's the plank and go panty government. When plank come to Jamaica and can't move.
Alright, Mickey, go ahead, sir, and then Outlaw.
Yeah.
Outlaw was here and I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I don't look here. The PNP are confused and they are very confused.
You think they're confused?
Joshua,
you really think that them confused?
Yeah, man, them confused. Joshua, the PNP, all right, they are complaining about on the JLP food price gone up. But remember, you know, because of the war in Ukraine, all right, grains and so on went up and it went up in the US. Now, remember, you know, we have to import food, as Kim was saying, and other goods for raw material for manufacturing and so on. Now, if it goes up in the US, it is going to go up in Jamaica. And a lot of the inflation that Jamaica experiences are imported inflation. Prices go up in the US, because it's going to go up in Jamaica. When I hear PNP complain about food this going up and so on, I thought what the PNP had in mind was to come and put a subsidy on the food. So because I was going to ask them how they're going to maintain that, or they're going to sustain it, I should say. Now, if the PNP come and said they are going to put tax, what that is going to do is further send up the price, drive up the price of the food even higher. So I don't know. They're very, 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 very confused. They just keep saying anything. They're desperate, just saying anything to gain, you know.
PNP are tricksters, Barrakim. Even if they should decide to use a subsidy, they have to find the money. That's what I was waiting. Tax again.
Look here. In no time that NIR, they're looking at the NIR now, but in no time that would be wiped out. They might can't do it for about a short time, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what the PNP. You can't. They just keep saying things and it don't add up. It doesn't make sense.
Desperation, Barrakim.
Yeah, they don't understand anything about an economy. You know, what America do, you know? America have a good manufacturing sector. So what they do, they use some of the profit from the manufacturing sector to subsidize the farmer. So you don't need a lot of people in farming. And so you have one man, him have how much acres of land and him plow it and him plant in seed and him go sleep and come back and wake and reap. Our society is different. We have a lot of small farmers. But what we need to do is just get our manufacturing sector, and that is what the Prime Minister is doing, you know, trying to build back the manufacturing sector. Because we know, you know, in the 90s, the PNP destroyed the manufacturing sector, destroyed the entrepreneurial spirit of the Jamaican people.
Repeat those two sentences again, Barrakim, because just in case it fly over somebody else. In the 90s?
Yeah, in the 90s, they destroyed the manufacturing sector, all right, and destroy the entrepreneurial spirit of the Jamaican people. The Jamaicans are just slowly getting back into manufacturing and so on. But the biggest hindrance is the price of electricity, the price of energy. And that is why the Prime Minister said, look here, JPS, we're not going to sign back that deal with you, you know. Because that deal is too much in favor of JPS. You know? Yeah. So Prime Minister looking at other alternative energy and so on. Because you know what, Joshua, a lot of Jamaican manufacturing company, it's cheaper for them to manufacture the goods in Trinidad and just ship it back to Jamaica and put on a stamp on it, like Grace Kennedy. The manufacturer in Trinidad put on a stamp on it, just ship it back to Jamaica and stamp it and sell it. If they are to manufacture it, they could manufacture it in Jamaica, you know, but it's going to cost more, you know, people in business to make money. And it is only going to cost more because of the high electricity bill. All right. And remember, as Clark pointed out, as Clark pointed out, you know, in 1988, Jamaica had a surplus. I think she said $3 million US with CARICOM. So that means we were manufacturing and selling goods to CARICOM more than what we were importing. And he said, right from that converted in 2000, or going up to 2009, that converted to a deficit of 1.6 billion. That means our manufacturing sector wiped out, and we were just importing things from Trinidad. We weren't really, we were just importing. We weren't selling anything to CARICOM. All right. And the things that come from Trinidad are things that we used to make. Trinidad, there's nothing special that Trinidad makes that Jamaica can't make. It's the same soft drinks and the little biscuits and so on. But because it's cheaper, because oil, Trinidad have oil, so their electricity bill is very low. Ours is one of the highest in the world, and that is where we have a problem. But once the Prime Minister can fix the energy costs, then we will be on our way, and we'll be able to sell it a lot, because we have a big market in the US already. US and Canada, UK, we have a lot of Jamaicans. We have a big market. Yeah, and we can supply those markets. We can sell a lot. All right. But that's what I have to say for now.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Before you run off, Kimmy had started on a journey and you kind of complemented that journey. And I want to just touch on it a bit to further show people the gravity. Most of our canned goods are not from Jamaica. Even the Grace Kennedys and the Lascaux. No corned beef is canned in Jamaica. It's Brazil and Venezuela and those places. So even that, the prices of those simple things would go up. Your sardines are not from here. Most of them are from Canada, that's a Brunswick, and the others are from all over the world. So when PNP talking about 1.5%, what we need to find out, Barry, if you can get the figures, and just come back to us, so that when the next person finishes talking, then you can give us what is the value of our overall import to Jamaica, and that's the immediate import, not the ones. Because when we look at the value of our overall import, it doesn't include the Lascaux and the Grace Kennedy, because they are not classified in that bracket per se, right? And then find 1% of that total amount and show the Jamaican people how much taxes extra that the PNP would be planning to heap on the backs of the Jamaican people. Crunch the numbers and let people understand that when you hear something, it's not just like you hear it. It's not as cut and dry as that. That is why I like to crunch the numbers. All right. So Outlaw.
Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something. Sorry for cutting and all. What is the purpose of the NIR?
It's like a savings account, a rainy day savings. Right? So you as a householder, you say, boy, I'm going to put something aside for just in case we get sick. I'm not work. When I was in life insurance, one of the things they taught us is that you must have the equivalent of 3 months savings put aside. Right? So just in case you're not working, you have money to sustain it for 3 months. And it is assumed that within that 3 months period, you would have found a new job. So the purpose of the NIR is to put aside some money just in case you have a world recession, you have wars, or anything that is going to interrupt the country's ability to earn. So this money would help the country functioning, paying teachers, doctors, and public servants in general, and other recurrent expenditures such as the buildings that the government rent, and ensuring that police can get gas to go out, for do them job and all of those things.
And deal with balance of payment.
So
balance of payment.
So for example, now, if the country, for example, the rate, the dollar value is getting too high, can you use that a portion of that NIR to flow into the economy to kind of to stabilize the dollar?
They do that.
You can, but largely because we have an independent banking sector now, in terms of the BOJ. The BOJ would make that assessment first and foremost and intervene. right? If they think they need to,
Right.
right? You only
My
use that.
point is this.
Mm-hmm.
My point is this, Joshua, right?
Uh-huh.
So then, would it? So it would not. If the Bank of Jamaica gives the okay and the go, if they assess it and say, all right, we can pump some money into the economy to kind of stabilize the dollar. Would you then say that part of the NIR function is to also help in stabilizing the Jamaican dollar? Would you say that?
Anything that is going to help to stabilize the economy on a short-term basis. Purpose of the NIR. Remember, it is like a savings account. It is something in a household that is going to keep the household afloat for that period, but it's a temporary measure because we don't have money perpetually like that, right? The United States have what is known as the Federal Reserves, right?
Yeah,
and
they can print.
They just print new money. Jamaica don't print money. We don't make our own money. So we have to have a net international reserve, which is what you're asking.
Yeah,
right.
earn on it. And also some.
So and I will land with this. So then, why is it then that the PNP have a problem when the Jamaican government pump some money into the economy to kind of stabilize the dollar? If that's part of its function on a temporary basis, if that's part of its function, why is it that then they have a problem when money is taken from the NIR to kind of help in stabilizing the dollar? I mean, we know that in terms of exporting, that would also help to stabilize and the flow of the economy. But a part of the NIR is supposed to take care of things like this as a temporary solution. And if they have a problem when money is pumped into it.
So I have a statement and a question. I'm going to put forward the statement first, and then I ask a question. The statement is the PNP does not know how to manage an economy. They have never been good at it. They know how to politic. Right? They are good at politicking, but they know nothing about managing an economy. They have never been successful at it. Right? The second thing now is the question. Did you hear Denise Bailey's statement? MP Denise Bailey's statement the other day?
The one that has gone viral?
Yes.
Yes, I heard that one, yeah.
You remember what she said?
About the one about we must not only
all the bad policies.
We must not like them, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I guess that answers your question when you said, why is it that the PNP would have an issue? Because them bad mind and them like we. Full stop. And I will land there and go to Outlaw.
If you Sam, just to follow up on what Joshua is saying, the PNP is just being dishonest, and they're just trying to, I use a simple term, trick the Jamaican people. Because most Jamaican people really do not understand how an economy functions. The central bank is there as a vanguard of our
use simple word. Use simple words so that the average person can understand, Mr. Dawkins.
The central bank is there as a guidance, as a protector,
and a shield and a guide.
A shield and a guide. They deal with the monetary policies, right? They control interest rate. They control money supply. Because let me tell you something. All the year they talk about inflation. It is not the Minister of Finance really control inflation. It is the central bank that controls inflation. So they have to control the money supplies that is in the economy. They have to read the market, control the interest rate, whether to move it up, whether to carry it down, whether to let it remain stable. You understand? That's the responsibility of the central bank. Also, the central bank have to also keep a cap on how the US dollar loses value. The Jamaican dollar loses value against the US. Because if the money starts to run away, it will create hyperinflation. Because what happens is, most of what we consume on a daily basis are imported. And so therefore, if every time that you are going to the shop or going to the market, you have to use more Jamaican dollars to buy the thing that you consume on a daily basis, this is going to create inflation for you. It's going to wipe out your earning, right? So the government know whenever time there is a high demand for US dollar in the market, and there's a lot that are available, the central government, the central bank now have to intervene to make the market liquid. Mean they provide it. Exactly. So people start to speculate in the market and let the dollar run away. And the most vulnerable of the society, like the poor, like me and you, will wipe out our earning, and then hyperinflation take us. So that is what the central bank are there for.
Hold on, folks. One other thing I've observed is that we're losing the new people when they come in, because we who have spoken before speak again. So we have to be mindful of that. Outlaw, we lost him, and Sheppy is here. So, as I said, let us try and kind of jot down the item. If we're going to respond to what somebody says, we make it probably 1 or 2 lines and then move on. But we don't want to lose our new contributors.
Very important. And in closing, I just only want to say that these false promises by the PNP about taxing imported items to finance their socialist program is a wrong message that is sending to the international community. It is a wrong message that's sending to investors. It is a wrong message that's sent to Harmony Grove investment of over $1 billion United States dollar. It is a wrong message that's sent now to those people who are in talks with the Factors Corporation to build out that logistic hub so they can come in and rent those spaces and create jobs. Because what this will do now, this will send the wrong message within the market. And investors now will become very concerned about the stability of the Jamaican economy, because this present model is working. This present model becomes a case study for the world. There's no way to add to it or take it away, because it is working. It is creating the jobs. It is creating the revenue for the country. It is creating the investment that the country needs. So there's nothing about this present model to go experiment with. Question that we wanted to ask: are we going back to the days of experiment with the Jamaican economy? We have done so before and we have failed.
Land there, Mr. Dawkins.
Yes, I will, sir.
Joshua, can I read something, Joshua?
Just before you do that, another problem that we would end up with is vacation in Jamaica. The prices of the hotel fees and the small resorts would have increased also, because all of that food that them import in order to cater to their markets that eat only certain things, and the beds, a lot of them, the furniture that they bring in, that they use, they actually import them. So not only will it be hard for local persons to vacation here, but also the tourists who want to visit Jamaica would find it harder, and it may affect our tourism sector. So go ahead, Barkim, while we go to Sheppy when you finish.
Yeah, man. Joshua, what people have to understand, that there are certain food that it's cheaper to import it than produce it in Jamaica. All right, my daughter asked me to take our skirt to the tailor to just change and zip. I went, it cost $1,000. So she said, listen, you could have...
It's not the first.
One moment, Martin is
It's not the first.
Yeah. Right, go ahead.
No, that might be some comedy in Joshua.
Martin, hold on,
Joshua.
We're having an orderly discussion, sir. We're not saying that you cannot contribute, but we're going by order.
Yeah. So, Joshua. Yeah. So Joshua. So she could easily put maybe a $500 and get a new on it and get that $1,000 and get a new skirt. So you see, there are certain things that I mean, a person a minimum wage. You can't really force them to go and go to a local person if we go buy a thing where them can get their $1,000 for 3, 4, 5,000. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, what I'm coming to know is this article. It said government looking to reduce duty on imported food by Vanessa James, March 21, 2025. Just listen to this, you know. That this is showing you how the PNP confused. All right, the government is reviewing duties on imported food with
to reduce it.
To reduce these charges. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness said that the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce are working together on the review. He was making his contribution to the 2025-2026 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Thursday, March 20. Dr. Holness noted that a significant portion of the money spent on imported food is due to taxes, including imported duties, stamp duties, and general consumption tax, in addition to compliance fee and an environmental levy. He declared that the government will not increase the cost of food with more taxes. Let me go back again. He declared that the government will not increase the cost of food with more taxes. The Prime Minister said the recommendations from the working groups are being reviewed by the Finance Ministry for implementation. The Prime Minister pointed out that farmers will not be affected by the reduction of imported food prices. I want to emphasize that these measures will not hurt our farmers. In fact, we will be increasing the Ministry of Agriculture $1.2 billion production and productivity program to help our farmers negate any uncertainty, Dr. Holness said. He went on to highlight that the government has consistently supported local farmers through the AgroCare initiative and has since provided more than $4 billion in direct support to them. All right. Regarding consumers, Dr. Holness said commodity price reports will be published bi-weekly through traditional and social media to keep the public informed and avoid being exploited by distributors, wholesalers, and supermarkets through inflated price. You hear that? So that's the end of the article. There are more articles. There are different articles in different, and the same thing on his budget speech about thing there. Yeah.
You see, it
about reducing duty and importing. Yeah.
It comes back to the point that the PNP does not know how to manage an economy. Because here it is, the documentation, the